Ruri Dragon, you might have heard of it. It's a great manga, but what's even better is the story behind its release and why so many fans are excited about the series' next chapter, both literally and figuratively. But first, before we get into all of that, what is it actually about? Well, it's basically the story of Ruri that's a half-dragon and her usual life. That's basically it. But don't get fooled, this isn't just the story of another high schooler. To prove that, you need to read it yourself. But don't worry, it's only 6 chapters anyway, it won't take that long. Wait, let's actually get into that. This series has been going on since June, 2 years ago. Why doesn't it have more chapters? Well, let's break it down. It's December 2020, and we actually thought that Attack on Titan was airing its final season. Someone called Shindo Masaoki writes a one-shot story called Ruri Dragon for a magazine called Jump Giga. This was the first time this series got released publicly, and it was just meant to be a one-and-done thing. No more chapters, this was it. Until Shonen Jump decided to serialize it. In June 2022, it got its first chapter into Shonen Jump. Everything was going great, there was a new chapter every week, but little did anyone know this would not last long. Only 5 chapters in, the creator decided to take a break and go on hiatus. Luckily, the 6th chapter got released fairly soon, only being delayed by a week. However, things were not going to get better. Due to Shindo Masaoki's declining health, there would be a second indefinite hiatus. Only this time, we waited, and waited, and waited. Nothing really happened. There were no new chapters, however, the first volume was released in October of 2022, and along with it, there was a voice comic.
なにこれ
Don't ask me how that happened. The first volume sold 74,000 copies in the first week, and during October there were already 200,000 volumes in circulation. These were the only real things that were released in 2022, and we went into 2023 without high hopes for it returning. Luckily, against all odds, we at the very least got some information about its return. It's February 2023. We didn't see it coming, but Ruri Dragon won an award for Nationwide Bookstore Employees Recommended Comics of 2023. And without warning, we got a message about the series' return. They said that they were grateful for the award and that they were working on returning and that they were making progress. This might not sound like much, but this was the first time we heard about the series actually returning. Even with all this great news, we went into the rest of the year waiting for another update, but got absolutely nothing. It was like walking through a desert and knowing that there was water at the end, but still, we knew nothing. Nothing about how or when. Nothing up until December 2023. That's when we finally had a rough idea of when it would exactly return. They said that it would get back around next year, 2024. This was actually great news. We had a rough idea of when it would get back. Some rumors were circulating about Ruri Dragon moving to Shonen Jump Plus, but we had no real announcements by anyone to support it. Then, without warning, in February this year, we finally got one final message. Would it return? Is it cancelled? Would it never return again? Well, inside of the final message, we finally get confirmation about the return, release date, and future of the series. It would finally return on March 4th. And have 6 chapters on the usual Shonen Jump magazine. Afterwards, it would get moved to Shonen Jump Plus and be released bi-weekly. Even though this doesn't sound that good in the beginning, this is actually perfect. Because of the author's health, this was the best idea. The series could still continue and the author could still manage to keep up with the deadlines. Now the question is, will it survive even on Shonen Jump Plus? Well, we'll see.